Welcome back to Two Brothers Sports Podcast presented by RambleOnSports.com. It is Friday, October 20th. We've got NFL Week 7, college football Week 8. Guys, quite a slate we've got here. A lot of good games. I feel like college football, noon, 3:37, kind of like last week where we have a game for each time slot. Looks to be a good Saturday, headlined by Penn State, Ohio State. And then we've got a great Sunday slate. We've got the Packers and the Steelers back from a bye. We've got the Bears a little banged up, but opportunity to get a dub with the Raiders also banged up. So good little weekend for some picks. Fellas, how we doing this week?
Good, man. Pretty solid week so far. Did decent last week overall betting wise, across all sports. So it's good. Blackhawks aren't looking too bad within the first week. So I'm liking it, and let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, man. All well here. Excited for another good, sports weekend. I mean, even just today, as we were recording here, got two postseason baseball games on. Your Duke's on. Some football as well, hockey. I guess preseason basketball. So a lot happening on the calendar.
Hell yeah, yeah. I think JMU. I think last time I checked, they're like 3.5. I mean, we're in Virginia, so it doesn't really matter. But big ESPN2 game for JMU. Hey, we'll take anything on cable television. So that's a big time. Yeah, we'll take it, man. We'll take it. And I think should be a good game. Marshall's a good team. Rashawn Ali, good running back for Marshall. So JMU's got to stop him there. And then we'll see what McLeod's JMU's quarterback McLeod will do. But
Ray McLeod's brother.
Yeah, yep. I was like, oh, sweet, that's dope. I mean, he's playing well. I think he's redshirt freshman. So JMU just kind of racking up some wins. And of course, I mean, it's great for the program. It's a bummer that at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to really go bowling. So fuck the NCAA for that. I mean, we let people get paid now, NIL. I mean, I don't know why they can't just let the kids play, but that's beside the point. Whole nother thing that's, above our pay grade. So yeah, we'll be all right. But good little Thursday for sure.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, for
sure. Yep. And looking at last week, Max, you did say good little weekend here for everyone. I'd say our college football probably not as good as our NFL. A couple games there. I think let's see. Sean and I went 1-2. Max went 1-1. It's a beautiful Virginia Beach soccer weekend back in travel ball. You go 1-1. That sounds about right. Don't get to play in the championship on Sunday. That means you get to go home early. So make sure you get those NFL games. Maybe that was just a little nostalgia there. And then NFL, let's see. It looks like everyone, let's see, got 3-2, 3-2, 2-3.
Yeah, I was the lone under 500.
Hey, but you guys, both you two are rolling on the NFL side. Sean 17-13 on the season at 56.67%. Max 29-1, which is fucking rolling right now. So we gotta start tailing Max's shit, but he's at 69%. Ha. And then I am 15-14-1 at just above 50%. So fellas are all above 50% in the NFL. So we'll take that. And then college football, we're doing all right there. Let's see. Sean's a little under on the college football, but he's been steadily bouncing back. I think that those first 2 weeks you were like 1-5, and he's steadily making his way back to 500. Max 9-8-1, and myself 12-6. So overall, everyone is at 50% or better through combining both, which is pretty impressive. So everyone's above 50% if you combine the two. So hey, we're not doing so bad. So let's keep that momentum going.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right. And getting into college football, anyone want to recap anything? Any big ass kickings on Saturday that you guys want to talk about? Like 4 touchdown wins against, the number 1 NFL draft pick who's going to get ownership of an NFL team here in a couple of years once he goes pro. Anyone want to talk about that?
Correction. I don't think he's going to get ownership of an NFL team.
Yeah, what a joke, dude. And I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Like, I don't think you can do that. Like,
Yeah.
Because that would be like some kind of payment in their salary cap and all that.
That's a real there's no I in team situation.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't you love to hear that and be like, oh shit.
The olds would have a field day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You get in there, and those team. I mean, oh yeah, that would be hilarious. Just he'd get a lot of shit in the beginning for sure. He'd have to ball out, but yeah, let's bring up the names, I guess, while we're at it. Notre Dame 48-20 over USC. The Jewel Shillelagh, I think is how you say it, or Shillelagh. I'm not too sure. Um, big home win. Caleb Williams 3 picks in the first half. Does it get any better than that? I mean, I was with Sean on Saturday, and you know, first half I was rolling, and then second half, I couldn't like keep the momentum going because it was just such an
Yeah.
ass kicking. I couldn't, I was just like, all right, well that's it. Like we're good. I feel good. So got to just enjoy hanging out. But Max, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, dude. I mean, me and Dad were down at the lake, so it was awesome. We were just chilling in the family room, with fire on, just fucking cheering probably every 5 minutes, and just being like, "Let's fucking go!" Like you just like honestly, Vegas did know, I guess. We were all kind of questioning that come before that game, but. I mean, dude, I don't think any Notre Dame fan was expecting that, nor USC fan. But it was just unreal. I mean, defense looked great. Sam Hartman, that stud of a man. I mean, Estime, fucking, we just all. That's what we should have looked like these past 2 games.
Yep.
That all three, honestly. I mean, Duke, even we looked bad, but yeah, so great fucking win. Kind of sucks we're a 2-loss team, and we don't have Sam Hartman next year. Yeah,
Right.
but it's just perfect for moral support. I mean, it's huge rivalry, so cannot complain whatsoever. And fantastic win.
Yeah, that Notre Dame defense for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freeman had him rolling. I mean, what's his name? Was it Watts? Was the corner
That Watts kid was incredible.
Yeah. That was fan fucking tastic. There's nothing better. I mean, once you saw kind of the crowd and how it was looking with the weather, you start to get a little more amped up. You're like, oh, Cali kids can't hang in South Bend. It's ugly as shit there. So
yeah,
yeah, huge fucking win. But yeah, I mean, to Max's point, 2-loss team. At this point, we can maybe make some noise and just pray for some chaos because I mean, the Louisville one is what hurts. I mean, one loss to Ohio State, I was like, all right, we got good chance, win out. Now it's need some shit to happen, but you never know. You never know. Seeing crazier shit, but Notre Dame will probably get a good little New Year's Eve bowl or New Year's Day bowl and look good and hopefully build some momentum off that for next year. I mean, we got some good young QBs, but no Hartman. But good young QBs, so hopefully we can turn that around. Big win for Freeman. I'd say probably bigger. He's probably the one who's going to be most amped up. He really needed that win. I think after these couple and kind of how they were ended up last year, I think it's big for him and the program. So, yep.
boy.
Other games. What jumped out to you guys? I mean, the Oregon Washington game was awesome. I mean, Penix, Bo
Yeah,
Nix
man.
battle.
That was like they played that game 10 times. It's gonna be pretty even. That was awesome. Maybe they'll
Yeah,
play again later for the Pac-12 championship.
yeah, definitely can see that.
Yeah. Penix was great. I mean, even Oregon was good. They just, a couple untimely, like fourth downs and them just settling for field goals and stuff. So a little bit too much of
And
that.
yeah, I mean that comes to that home field advantage. I feel like would have easily flipped it. So definitely great game. Would have liked a little more points out of Washington, but that's okay.
Just one more point.
Get it back this weekend. We'll get it back this weekend.
Yep.
So
I like that. I like that. So without further ado, Max at the 1-1-1 spot here. Probably going to be our worst record leader going forward and what we've had from a college football, just a 1 week standpoint. So we'll get back on that train. We've been rolling on the college football so far this year. So bound to regress a little bit. But Max, where are we going with pick number 1?
pick number 1, I'm gonna go Ole Miss -6.5 over Auburn. I don't think Auburn's all there. I think Ole Miss is still fighting. I mean, they're 13th. They're battling in the SEC. They can make some noise and kind of push some shit around. So Lane Kiffin, I mean, you've seen some of those plays he's drawing up. He's a beast. He's a dude as well. So I like Ole Miss. It is at Auburn, so that's a little tougher. But I think the way Auburn is right now, just that football team has gone south pretty
Yeah,
fast.
seems like they've kind of quit.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So give me that -6.5. Love it. Easy tutty win if they need. I'd say 10 or 14 is what they actually win by. Maybe like some garbage time, or maybe they garbage time cover. But either way, give me those Rebels.
There's still a lot of season left, but it feels like there's only a handful of good SEC teams. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of this SEC is more like a Big Ten or at ACC than ever before. Like there's a couple really good teams, and then just a lot of like I don't know.
Yeah, when I was writing down, I was just going through kind of just initial reactions. I wrote down a ton of SEC like dogs. Like I was just like, oh, like so I originally wrote down this one, Auburn. I was like, all right, at Auburn at
Yeah.
because all I was thinking about was
Yeah.
that Georgia game. And I was like, okay, so Georgia, I had Georgia, that kind of fucked me. I was like, all right, Auburn can play at home. And then I look at this LSU game, lose by 30. And then I see they've only beaten, it looks like Samford, Cal, and I don't know who the first.
They beat Cal by like 4.
Yep, beat Cal by 4. And then, UMass week 1. So, I mean, they have not really, other than the Georgia game, like it's kind of like you take out that Georgia game, they're not a good football team. So I like that pick a lot. Yeah. Yep. And Jackson Dart's rolling. I think they're also Ole Miss is coming off a bye, so I think that's big too.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck yeah.
fuck yeah. All right, Sean, where are you going with pick number 1 for Sean?
I'm gonna go with like Vegas, like let's have more fun play. The line in Ohio State, Penn State for the total is at 45, at least 45 the last time I checked. I know both these defenses are good. I know both these offenses are suspect, but all the Penn State, Ohio State games I remember watching, especially last year, get wacky and crazy in like a pick six or a fumble or a lot of just short fields to work with. And I think they blow the doors over this over of 45. So absolutely give me a hammer over 45 in Penn State, Ohio State.
I really like that.
Yeah, I do like that as well.
I'll definitely be playing that, and I'll just I'll piggyback, but not in the sense it's going to be the same exact pick.
Yeah, same game.
Let's just keep that game going because big. What is that, a noon game?
The stupid big noon kickoff by Fox.
Yeah. So
I got a word for them.
yeah, right.
We can't have that.
Little early. I do like the points there. I'm looking at it. I don't know. Penn State 6-0 against the spread. Ohio State 3-2-1. I'd say that if you're looking at stats, offense is pretty even. Penn State's defense has been a little bit better this year. Dude, they're averaging on defense 121 pass yards per game allowed. So we're not even talking 200 total yards. Yeah, play Notre Dame. Other than that, you exclude Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Penn State, pretty similar opponents. I mean, Notre Dame or Ohio State I think that after watching that game, I just feel like they've gotten away with it a little bit. I feel like I just don't know if I trust McCord fully yet. And I think this is a really good opportunity, Penn State, to kind of make that stamp on that. I love Drew Aller. I think the biggest matchup is Penn State's O-line versus the Ohio State D-line. How much time is Aller going to get to throw the ball? And are they going to be able to get some run game going there too? Going to be a great fucking game. But give me Penn State plus 4.5. I love plus 4.5. I could totally see it being a 4-point game and you're kind of going down, maybe a late touchdown to go up 4. And then, even if they do, it's kind of like, all right, well, Penn State's got last second play. They're down 4. They got to throw a touchdown. They throw a pick in the end zone. Like still taking my 4.5. I could see it being Ohio State winning the game, but I think 4.5 is just at that point where I'm like, all right, you know what?
It's a good number.
Yep. So give me Penn State plus 4.5.
Very nice.
Uh-oh.
I do absolutely love it. So then you ask, what do you think I'm gonna do? Or you do want to do? All right, does that
Snake
other
it back to
pick?
you, Sam.
Oh no, you got it, Max.
I just realized Creighton's in there. I didn't know if you were okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so just give me Penn State +4 as well. Absolutely love it. We
Love
got
that.
Allen and Lambert, their top Allen running back, Lambert from Norfolk. Um, is their best wide receiver. And you got Drew Aller, who has not thrown an interception yet.
yeah.
And he's looking solid. He's got 1,200 yards, 12 tutties through 6 games. So he's looking solid. And I might just be doing this because they beat up Dub V first game of the season. But I think Penn State's a fucking solid team this year. This could be their year to win that Big Ten and get into the playoffs. But they do have to go through Michigan and Ohio State. So that's the troublesome. But I think this would be the team. They look very good. And Ohio State right now, I mean, they've had some very close games. So can't say they look very good.
As a Kyle McCord owner in fantasy football,
Therapists give their role each.
I'm not convinced about him at all.
Yeah.
But all
Yeah.
right, I'm gonna go the exact. Oh, sorry, Danny.
No, I was gonna say I think oh shit, what was I gonna say? No, I think the noon game's big. I feel like that might be just enough to throw off McCord in that team. I think Franklin just needs to get one. And I feel like for me it's more just that and Brayton's starting to click again. I think no matter what, I think one of these two teams is gonna have one loss by the end of the season and the other one's gonna have two. I think Penn State ultimately, I do like Penn State potentially beating them. I think even if Ohio State wins, I think Michigan beats them at the end of the year. So I think the biggest thing is going to be if Penn State or Ohio State has one loss, are they going to be able to sneak in at that number 4 spot in the playoff, which could happen. So this is a really pivotal game. It's almost I was talking to Brian Anderson and he texted me. It's almost like a CFP. It's almost like a college football playoff like play-in game because it's really one. I mean, you still got Michigan, Ohio State, and I think Michigan plays Penn State later. But I mean,
the loser might not, go to the Big Ten championship then. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, yeah, Michigan, Penn State is November 11th, also a noon game, and that is a Penn State home game. So that is going to be a very, very big game. So looking forward to seeing the Big Ten kind of just play itself out over the next couple of weeks.
yeah,
And Iowa. Iowa on the other side might just fucking walk on up to the Big Ten championship.
Good Lord.
Or in maybe fucking 6 points a game.
That would be a very ugly game. Michigan and Michigan and Iowa, even like a Penn State, any of that would be.
Sure.
Wisconsin's not much better anyway, so that division's just kind of fucked. Though once the big LA and all those guys they come in next year, they'll get those divisions and shit fixed out. So it's one more year of this bullshit.
That's true.
Yeah. All right, Sean, where you going? Pick number 2.
All right, I want the funsy over and pick 1. I'm gonna go with a non-funsy under in pick 2. Tennessee Bama. It should be a fun 3:30 game. Last year that was one of the most fun games. You guys remember? Like it went, I think it was overtime or a couple overtime. Tennessee or maybe end of regulation. It was like 50-40 something. They took down the goalpost, put it in the river. I think it's the total opposite this year. Tennessee don't love their offense, don't love Milton, don't love their offense in Milton against Alabama. Though Tennessee's defense, stat wise, has been doing really good this year. They're certainly the better part of the ball there. And I don't, expect Milroe to go up. Also, like the last 3 Bama games have played under this number here, 47.5. And I think I think they'll win, 27-20. or 30, 30-17 type of game.
Yep.
And it's gonna be close. Frank, like my actual, betting on the phone, I'll probably profit boost that number up a little bit, but I'm still fine playing under 47.5 here.
I really like that. I really like that. I was torn on the sides on that game, and I just everything about that screams under. So I like that pick a lot.
Thank you.
I will go with an also very ugly under. Drop that 47.5, drop it down to 31. I don't give a fuck. It's Minnesota, Iowa. It's gonna be the ugliest goddamn game of the year. It's gonna be like 15-6, which was, I'm pretty sure, Iowa's last game. I think I was looking at. So I love that. Give me Iowa 10th in the nation on defensive points per game. They only allow 15 points a game, and Minnesota only averages 21 points a game. So just do the math. I mean, you're pretty damn close to 31, little over. Yeah. But at the same time, I think this game just becomes a slugfest. I don't even know the weather. It's probably not going to be good as we're getting into
Iowa in late October.
Can't imagine that'll be good. So I don't even know if I don't know if McNamara is back yet, even if he's not.
Oh, no, I think he's out for the year.
Is he out for the year? Okay. This QB
sure.
for Iowa is just buns.
Oh, he's very good.
So yeah, give me that under 31. It was 31.5.
You had that play last week and it won, so just ride the hot hand.
Honestly, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That might be the theme of my picks so far this year, or this week. I mean, between NFL and college football, just stick to the guns. What are we mixing shit up for? You got like 7-8 weeks of college and pro football. You're kind of starting to see where the trends are. Like, okay, all right, this team is going to be an under team. This team's going to be an over team. So yeah, Iowa under 31. So I like it. All right, Max.
Oh, I'll make it quick. Dub V, if anyone watched that Dub V game last Thursday, after we finished recording against our former coach against Houston, absolute unreal. Hail Mary. We scored with 12 seconds left to go up fucking like through 4, I think it was. They threw a Hail Mary, fucking 0 seconds left, tipped, caught in the end zone. Houston wins, 0 seconds. So absolutely devastating. We should be 5-1. We're sitting 4-2 right now, going against a pretty shitty Oklahoma State. So give me that -3.5 all fucking day. They are pissed they fucking lost last week. There's probably some fans saying, "Oh, classic Dub V," as me, I'm the fan. So give me that all day. They're gonna fucking come out pissed, and I'm ready.
Yeah, I really like that.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I really like that. I had that as an honorable mention one, so I'm glad you brought that up, because I think it's more of a bounce back, just like not even question it. I think I bet on
like the Commanders bet last week.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, don't think about it. It's a bounce back. They're fucking mad. I love it. And West Virginia, just a sneaky good little team this year. I don't think they were supposed to even win 4 games. So the fact that they've got 4 games, I don't know. I think the over under was 3.5.
We were ranked very bottom, like even behind Cincy and Houston, and UCF was ranked above us preseason. So I'm happy. Neil is holding on, man.
I'll give the shout out to Cover 3, a great podcast for college football. I forget which one said it, but Neil Brown could save 2 jobs, his own and the Houston's coach with the with that loss last week.
Yeah,
that was a good laugh out of that with Dana.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, Dana's very close on his way out. But yeah,
his seat's pretty hot.
It is. So devastating loss, huge bounce back coming in.
I like it.
I'm gonna go with it's fortunately it's not the Gamecocks year. Rattler's good, but everyone else on that team is dog shit. And that's I root for dog shit teams, so this isn't throwing any shade at South Carolina here. They're going on the road against a Missouri team who has a chance, like if Georgia slips up, to win the SEC East.
Yep.
What they did against Kentucky last week was very impressive on the road. Now they get to go back home. South Carolina's offense gives up points to anyone. We can get points on them. Missouri, it's just all I did was just lay that little 7.5 number. This goes back to like that Ole Miss play. I think they win this game by 14, 17, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe by like 11 or 12. But either way, give me Missouri minus 7.5 against the other USC.
Yeah, I mean, scored, what is it, 18 unanswered points? I think they were down like 21-20, ended up scoring 18 in a row in the fourth quarter to
probably
win
the
21.
quietest 6-1 team. Not like quite like they're they do a lot of good things. Just it's Missouri. They don't get a lot. There's not like a player on that team who was like a Heisman candidate or anything like that. But good ball club.
Yeah, I mean,
I think their wide receiver might lead college football in receiving. Maybe not, but
they also should be undefeated. Oh wait, no, they should have covered. Never mind. They were gonna lose, but then he threw the pick six.
Yeah.
Fucking stick in my head forever.
He's third wide receiver.
I was just gonna say Luther Burden third. Yep. I mean, that's a good little list right there. I mean, Malik Neighbors, Colin Lacey. I don't know what San Antonio is that.
Yeah, I was thinking that
South Alabama.
I'm thinking that's Texas San Antonio. It's a weird
that or South Alabama.
Weird mnemonic for that.
Would that be maybe that's South Alabama?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yep. Yeah, it is. It is South Alabama. They put up hella points, so that doesn't surprise me. And then you got Adunze from Washington, who's a monster, and then Leggett from South Carolina, who's also kind of a monster too. So that's a good.
There's one okay player on South Carolina, but either way.
Yeah, no, I love Mizzou. So the last two, Mizzou and West Virginia, were like on my short list. I was like, I'm gonna play these, but I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna. I mean, shit, a parlay of those two money lines would probably just be nice little cash money, a little plus money, maybe. Smash. Do like plus 110 or something. We like pluses. But not on my third pick. I like minuses on this one. Not going to think over it too much, but here's the headline. Dylan Gabriel beats the fuck out of his old team, Golden Knights. I think Oklahoma 6-0 against the spread. I think they continue that trend. Give me the 17.5 points against UCF. I think what the big thing with Oklahoma right now is they're kind of sitting there looking around like, shit, we could sneak into this playoff if we just beat every team without struggle. I feel like as long as they don't slip up or they got some, like if they go to overtime against UCF, that's going to be, I don't know, an undefeated Oklahoma might not get it. So I feel like they're at the point where they're like, hey, we beat Texas. We got a bye. So they're coming off a bye. And they need to just look impressive, the next 6-7 weeks until, the Big 12 championship. Take care of business, of course. Not that I'm looking that far ahead, but this is kind of the start of, hey, let's start just fucking teams up.
Take care of business season.
Exactly. UCF's last loss, they were playing the backup of Kansas 2 weeks ago. They lost by 29 points, 51-22. And Oklahoma averages 42 or 45.2 points per game. And I don't think there's any way UCF can it's going to be a track meet. And I think it's going to be like a 45-21 kind of game. So give me Oklahoma minus 17.5.
Yeah, dude. I mean, talk about a team that really flipped the switch. That Oklahoma team last year looked like boo-boo. And this year, Dylan Gabriel. I mean, same quarterback, Dylan Gabriel starting last year, and he looks phenomenal. So they really flipped the switch.
Yeah. Well, and they got the old Clemson D coordinator as their head coach. Someone,
Venables.
What's his name? Venables, thank you.
And it seems like he finally got them to play. I'm sure whatever he's trying to.
Exactly. I feel like last year was like
last year was bad.
Yeah, they're like, is Venables an offensive guy now? Like, what's going on? They're averaging all these points, but they're giving up 45. Like you said, they put that in. I really like that a lot. I was just checking. I'm pretty sure 1, 2. Okay, I thought all my games were at noon. I had the Penn State the Oklahoma both at noon, and then Minnesota, Iowa. So hopefully I will go 3-0, and I will be just enjoying the late night games there. Because we do have a couple good ones here. Any honorable mentions? Anything that you'll be playing but didn't make that top three that we haven't talked about?
Just a couple ACC games. I think Miami bounces back after a couple of tough losses. I mean, the UNC, no shame losing at UNC. I think that team is for real. Every shame, they should get all the shame in the Georgia Tech loss. But I do think, through all that, Miami's a pretty good team. I don't think Clemson's that good of a team. And I think they win that game outright. You could get them with 3 points, but there's no advantage them playing at home at night. It's not like there's going to be Miami fans packing Hard Rock, but yeah, I'll take that. I also will take, assuming I wouldn't put it down now, but assuming Riley Leonard doesn't play, I would take Florida State minus 14.5 against Duke. We saw what Duke could not handle the pass rush against Notre Dame. I don't think it gets any easier against Florida State. And just like the Oklahoma thing, I think it's a Florida State, like, put your foot down on the throat. Don't let up, even if you're up like 20 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of Syracuse last week. That was a rout, 41-3. I mean, I think they were 17.5 or something like that. But yeah, I like that a lot. The one that you already had Mizzou as a play. I forgot to mention. I like the over 59 there. I think that's just going to be. I think both teams. I mean, I think 38-21 seems pretty reasonable, and we're taking that right at 59. So all we need is a little bit more there. But yeah, what about you, Max? Any honorable mentions from you?
No, kind of just I was looking at that Washington Arizona State under. It was 59.5. Then again, I was like, well, Penix might just fucking throw the shit out of it again. Maybe he wants this Heisman. He's just gonna fucking 6 tutties and stuff. So kind of stayed away, but I do like the over for 59.5. But not 100% if I'll be playing it.
Okay. I like that. That's actually a good point because I could see that also being like a 38.
Yeah, just take it easy.
Like a 38-13 or even less than that. Like just
Yeah.
hey, we'll get up 28-0 and then just throw in our backups in the third, just kind of chill. But I like that. Oh, the other one I wanted to gauge y'all's thoughts on. It's a big number, but this team has been covering like a motherfucker. I personally, in Sam's power rankings, they're my number one team, and that's the Michigan Wolverines. I think they're minus 24 or minus 24.5 against their bitter rivals, Michigan State. I think, I mean, Michigan's just beating the shit out of everyone right now, and I don't think Michigan. I know it's a rivalry game, and Michigan State's gonna show up, but I think Harbaugh's got them playing out of their goddamn minds. They look like robots out there. So what do you guys think on that? Staying away?
Yeah. No, I think they'll kick the shit out of Michigan State.
Yeah. Yeah. That it's high, but I mean, you're right. I mean, it's a rivalry, and they got to show out for the playoff committee as well. So,
yep. I mean, 35-10 puts. I mean, that's right on the money. Also, right on the over under at 46.5. So it's right there. So sounds like a Vegas little spot that could go a field goal or two around it. But yeah, I like that. Well, that was kind of the only other one. Oh, got to bring this up because we got to, pay our respects to the service academies. We got Air Force, Navy. Just to go through real quick, Air Force minus 10.5 over Navy. Navy is doo-doo ass this year. And over under 34.5. I like the over, and I like Air Force personally.
I've actually played Air Force like 3 or 4 times, kind of just tailing like someone who certainly knows a lot about the sport, because they're wagging with wings. They are without their quarterback this week.
Yep.
Now,
Yep.
That is also one of those things. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks that Air Force had in a while. But then you kind of handicap with like, well, it's service academy, so like it probably won't make that much of a difference in the long run.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. No, I like that. I mean, 34 and a half is just, I mean, that's a Service Academy over under right there. I'm already playing under 31 in Iowa, Minnesota. So I mean, 34 and a half doesn't scare me for shit. But I do like, I mean, they've only had one game, or I mean, Air Force has had one game where they didn't score more than 34 points themselves. So I agree with you. That's a good call on the QB, Sean, but yeah, look at me. Give me the Falcons. I mean, they're number 22 right now. They are no joke. Like,
Dude, they're rolling.
yeah. So I really like that a lot. Thought, got to bring that up. That's also, what is that? A noon game. So great noon slate. What a noon slate we get. I feel like last week was like, it was like, okay, get me to 3:30 and 7:30. I feel like now it's like, okay, we're gonna have a nice easy day. Maybe kind of trail off at night. But Utah USC is also a good one. I'm not playing that, I don't think, unless we're playing with house money. But oh, hey Riggs.
It's over, but I forgot what the over was.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
59 or something.
That's a classic Pac-12 over 59 and a half.
53. I was off. I was very off. I don't think it dropped 6 points since the last time I saw it. I think it's been there. Anyways. All right, sweet. So we got college football slotted up. All right, let's get to the NFL. Sean and I have our teams back. We've got Tyson Badgett from Shepherd. Shout out the state of West Virginia for the Bears. Got ourselves some. Honestly, all three of our games are going to be pretty fucking ugly this week between the Steelers, Rams, the Packers, Packers, Broncos, and then the Bears, Raiders. But any quick takeaways from the team? I know we're coming off a bye, but how are we feeling going into that Rams game?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I mean, not much has changed. I think the defense will show that they're one of the best in the NFL. I think we'll get good edge pressure with TGA and Hightower. I think Joey Porter Jr. will finally get to play a lot. I'm excited to see how he does, especially if he's got to be on Puka. It's going to be a tough test for him there. Luckily, not only Kyron Williams, but their backup running back is out too. I mean, it's a tough test, but it'll be a home game. Nice with all the West Coast Steeler fans flocking into SoFi. I'm excited.
Yeah. That is gonna be a good game. Gonna be a lot of Steelers fans there. It'll be a road game for the
As
Rams.
always.
Yeah, right. So, Max, how are we feeling on your Bears? Give us a little update.
Yeah. So, I mean, dude, Tyson came in last week, looked pretty solid. Panicked a little that last drive. We were moving, decided to hurl it up for that pick. And then the game. But dude, he looked not, I'm not gonna say great, but borderline great. Preseason. It is preseason. But he's solid. I think with this, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. I think with this weeks of preparation, he's gonna look a lot better and kind of just get the ball moving a little more and know where to look and stuff. I mean, he wasn't ready for that. You can't prepare for that.
Not mid-game. No.
So it is what it is. I think we have a solid chance. Jimmy G's not very good. Raiders tend to kind of hold teams. Their defense is pretty solid. Max Crosby's going to scare me, but if we get Darnell right on him, I think we can hold him back a little bit. I don't know what to think, but shout out W. I think he's the only born West Virginia player that is active in the NFL. So
really,
yeah,
that's kind of wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
he looks cool out there.
You can fact check me and find some fucking like practice squad guy maybe, but I saw that he's the only active West Virginia born NFL player.
That's dope.
Pretty cool. And yeah, dude, he's good. Not good. All right. I think he can step in and not look like absolute dog shit.
Yeah, give him a week of prep and
which he even did. I mean, he really didn't look that bad.
No,
Go
that fumble was kind of tough because he avoided the pocket, and then right at the last second, someone came from behind, and at that point, it's like, I mean, dude, if you can avoid 2 to 3 guys, and then the fourth guy gets you, I mean, what the fuck are you supposed to do at that point?
yeah.
That was heartbreaking, and it sounds so bad. Emma and I were watching the game, and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, all right, Tyson, like, what could go wrong here? And then literally that play happened, and Emma was just like, you need to shut the fuck up the rest of the
That
time.
could go wrong.
We both had Bears +3. Like, shut up. Like, you're just jinxing. I jinxed a kicker. I mean, it's red zone, and I don't know if I believe in that shit, but based on what my DraftKings account was at the end of Sunday, I can believe that I was jinxing myself. But now I like it. I mean, and is it O'Connell or is it Jimmy G? Is he
I believe it's Aiden O'Connell this week.
okay? So
Oh, and they're still favored.
yeah. So I mean, the difference is they've got Josh Jacobs to hand the ball off and Devontae Adams. No disrespect to
I think
DJ.
Herbert's still out.
Yeah, and Herbert's still out. Hey, big Roshan Johnson. Hey, you like a little I might have to look at his props. I
Bolden
haven't
looked
decided on
very
my
good
props.
last week too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair too. Yeah. So, yeah, that'll be good. And then for the pack, I mean, just get healthy. The Broncos it's going to be such a shit show of a game. It could be a shit show high scoring against the Broncos with everyone back, but still waiting to hear on Aaron Jones. Green Bay's in shambles, Denver's in shambles. So, I don't know how I feel about this week, but yeah. So any other I'm trying to think of any other big news that came out from last weekend that we need to talk about before getting into this week's picks. Um
CMC.
that's a yeah, that is worth bringing up. Yeah, that's a tough injury. Do we know how long he's out for?
No.
Big
Andy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so Brock Purdy didn't look so great, but
Yeah,
um,
Browns beating the Niners was big. Jets beating the Eagles. Two huge upsets. No more undefeated teams in the NFL. That is definitely worth talking about.
oh, dude. Speaking of, how about that dude? I'm sure everyone has seen it from jail. He had a parlay a couple
Yep.
weeks ago, and then this one he just
That was
hit.
nuts.
He called the Browns and Jets. Definitely called the Jets, but I think he might have called the Browns too, and he won like 13K. And apparently, I think this one's a lie, but they said he was able to bail himself out with that parlay. I don't know if that's 100% true, but
His boy
it's
just
fun.
was like, "Hey, thanks for the 13K. I need
He's like,
one more parlay.
go ahead,
I need
life.
one more parlay. Yeah. This one's for me. Now I need one for you.
Yeah.
No, that's too
I to
funny.
him about the odds. No, but yeah. And so that was a funny. It's crazy calling me, dude. Everyone's like, we need to fucking trail this guy. But so that
Mhm.
was cool. But yeah, that's about all I got from last week. Ready to move on.
Yep. I'm with that. Looking at, let's see, looking at the records. Let's see. Max and I tied at 3-2. However, I did get Cooper Cup for the TUD. So I'm gonna lead off. And
Yep.
I know I was just giving some slander to my team, and we're starting with favorites. And I know I was just giving some slander to my team. Think it's gonna be a poopy game. However, Green Bay -1. Give me the money line. Broncos suck, and I think that they're more worried about getting the number one pick than they are maybe covering this game or maybe getting the dub. I think Sean Payton is at this point is just trying to make Russell Wilson look as bad as possible so that he can get someone new and just start fresh. Broncos defense, pass defense is one of the worst in the leagues, if not the worst. Defense is terrible. Jerry Judy's out there more concerned with Steve Smith talking shit about him on TV than he is worried about his goddamn game. And I think Packers are just coming back at a healthy, like, good time. I don't necessarily think I'm not saying the Packers are going to make a run or anything, but I think this is finally when we can see, hey, what does Jordan Love really get when he has Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon, Christian Watson? We're not talking about the offensive line. They'll get there. Bakhtiari's out for season, so it's only going to be so good. But being able to have every offensive weapon at his disposal will be huge. So I think he takes advantage of it. I think it's also one of those games where people are gonna, as I'm taking Packers -1, I do think people are going to overreact going forward. Like I think Packers are going to look good, and then it's all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh, Jordan Love's going to do this. Might not look good the following week, but I think Denver's a good tune-up game for Green Bay, and just to kind of say, hey, we're not going to just shit the bed and tank this year. So give me Green Bay -1. I don't. There are so many favorites I liked, but I could not get off the schneid when it came to this game, so had to just do it for the homers. I haven't had a lot of good consecutive weeks for the NFL, so I feel like I needed a emotional and mental kind of a dub. So it's 2 for 1 here.
Well, I like the Packers this week too. Let's get right.
Yeah,
It's both
right.
teams.
Got to. I mean, we'll take it. So let's see. All right, who went number 2?
I was last in football, so Max, you're up next.
All right.
Football. I was last.
I was last in football.
Yeah, I'll just go. I don't know why, dude, but these higher spreads just make sense. Bills -9 against the absolute poopy Pats. Scored 3 points like the last 2 or 3 games. It's in Gillette, but I mean those guys are probably gonna be wearing bags over their heads at this point. Like they just are terrible. I just can't not. I mean, Browns or the Bills got to fucking start showing out. It's almost like we're talking about like college football, but like they got to start just beating the fuck out of people
Dude,
to
yeah.
fucking thinking and get a higher seed and shit. So this is the perfect opportunity. Just beat the piss out of a piss poor Pats. Alliteration, baby.
A piss. I like it.
Max, that was my pick too. Bills -9. This is just a lot like the week going into the Dolphins, where the Bills looked horrible the week before. Dolphins looked like the best team on the earth. It's the National Football League, man. Water finds its level. I mean, I still think the Bills have a lot of holes in this team, but they know that they need to just go out and take it to this defeated Pats team there. And it's a high spread, but I think they get right on offense, divisional game, and win this by 14. Plus, Max, the last time, and maybe the last couple times, I'd have to look back, but at least last week when we had the same pick, Washington +2.5, that won. So maybe there's something good about when we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, and both of our Lunders is what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yep, I was gonna say, yeah, I had Lunder last week. I think someone else had a Lunder. I think when we go,
we all hit the Lunder last week.
Yeah, when we all tandem, when we at least get a 2 tandem, that's bound to hit. Those listening, keep a tab on that. I like that a lot. I think I do like. There's some other favorites. Is kind of one I had some other ones, and I know I'm going with my bias here, so I want to just name off a couple. You guys can say yay or nay and get y'all's thoughts on some other favorites. I like Kansas City -5.5 against the Chargers.
The other one I had written down.
I like that one. I still I don't know what's going on right now. So based on the line, I still really like the Niners -6.5 against Minnesota. I think it could definitely be an ugly game, still a touchdown though. And I just think Minnesota, like they squeaked that win out and Fields was gone for what, the entire second half? Like something like that. Even maybe more.
Yeah.
He's about the second.
It was right before his last possession of the second half. He got hurt, so Tyson came out for the third quarter.
Okay, yep, yeah. So the entire second half was bad, and they still barely won. There was times where I thought the Bears were gonna make that happen too. I just think that I don't know what the hell the Vikings are doing. And then the other one, kind of I don't know if it's an overreaction to what happened last weekend, but I like Cleveland -3 against Indianapolis. I think I don't know. That one, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna play that one, but I do like the KC and the Niners one. I think those are kind of like, hey, let's get back to our shit.
Oh yeah, AR is out for season, I believe. So
shit. Well, if it's Minshew, then I don't know. Stay away from him.
He starts variability there.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. All right, sweet. So on to the dogs. Oh, I'm so torn. I think I want. All right. You know what? I will reserve my right to pick first in this round. So Max, you go with number one and I will follow because I'm still making decisions here. So see if I can get some help.
Um, dude, I mean, I guess it's because that I think they're one of the best teams.
I wonder if Max and I are going to the
They
same pick
keep
again.
they keep attracting me, dude. They keep attracting me with no matter what their line is. I mean, granted, last time I took them, they were underdogs. They got shit whopped. Um, but give me Dolphins plus 2.5 against the Eagles on Sunday night.
What a
Uh,
game.
That's
it's
gonna be
gonna be
sick.
an absolute fucking banger for sure. I kind of see them winning, dude. Eagles have not looked great. Eagles have not looked great recently. So I think Miami's this is their time to kind of sneak in there, get a good dub against one of the best teams in the NFC, and just be like, yeah, we got shithoused by Bills, but we're still here. So both have only one loss. It'll be a fucking fantastic game. And if they lose, fuck, dude, it might be by one or two, honestly.
Dude, and I know you guys both have Bills -9, but I am starting to think when I think about that game, looking at both the Buffalo line and the Miami line, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I feel like that game, I feel like it was one of those things like if you ever play at pick up basketball or something and the team you're playing is just shooting like 90%, everyone's hitting, and you could have scored, you should have shot 60% and you lost by three. It's like how the hell did that just happen? Oh wait, it was their fucking day that day. And I feel like the Bills just came out and just were ready. I feel like they were locked in that Miami game. So like that's one of those games where I'm still torn. Like I think I lean more like Miami just what maybe they didn't prepare as much, but like Buffalo just really came out. And so like I feel like that I'd still really like what Miami's been doing and there I
Oh, yeah.
mean I do the Eagles. I think the Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC, but that doesn't mean that's like the highest level of compliment. And I feel like they've squeaked by a few times. And so
I mean, the commies, they lost to the Jets. Um,
yep.
defenses and Dolphins got a solid defense. They do.
Pass rush is really good.
Yeah.
So no, I really like that pick a lot. Sean, where are you going with your dog?
I'm going with the Detroit Lions to go into Baltimore and continually to surprise people. I think this is a well coached football team with a lot of really good players. Jared Goff's offense is unstoppable, but it's not at all about the coaching or the offense. I think Detroit's defense is a top five defense in this league. It's almost impossible to run the ball on them. The Ravens want to run the ball on them, and if they have to beat them through the air, I don't think they can win in a point scoring match against the Lions. So I like the Lions just to on the money line, but give me the +3 in this case here.
I
I
love
like
that.
it.
And of course,
That's super fucking close.
yeah. And you two, those were I was trying to decide between the two. So you
That was really
didn't help me. You didn't fucking help me. Now it's just like who do I side with? Good Lord. All right, shit. Now you got me all fucked up. Um shit. That really messed me up. You know what? Honestly, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Lions as well. That was my number one. I had a 1A, 1B. Go with the Lions. I'm not gonna say too much more than what Sean said. Um, sorry to
Better football team.
yeah, honestly. I mean, I think I'm gonna probably play Miami and Lions money line. I might even look at that and just a little sprinkle of a parlay and see what that turns out to be. But yeah, I think Baltimore's been decent, but there really hasn't been the one game that really impressed me from Baltimore was the fucking Browns game. I think they won by 14 or something like that. And Browns have looked pretty good this year, but I think it's also kind of one of those games where it's in division, so it's like you guys know each other, so you could either make it ugly or you kind of attack the weak spots. I don't remember if Watson was playing that game, but yeah, I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I like Detroit. I'm going to play both these games, but yeah. So, all right. The only other one I had was the Pats +9, and you guys, I mean, I just don't. Yeah. That was the only other dog I liked. I was like, fuck, I don't. I was those two, and I just couldn't decide between them. And then I wrote down the Pats because I was like, too many points? Question mark. But
We'll see. We'll see if it's too many points. I hope it's
yeah.
not.
I wasn't gonna zag when y'all were already zigging. So that's too much firepower to go up against. So yeah. But what I will do is if I'm gonna go Detroit on my +3, if I'm gonna take the over, I'm gonna go with over Miami Philly. That's over 52. It's the highest over. As Max was saying in the lobby, it's one of the only overs that's over like 46 points or something like that. There's like 2 overs that are that many points. And so I think both defenses are good, but I think at the same time we're talking about 27-27 will clear that. I think both teams are very capable of clearing that. So not gonna overthink it. Miami and Philly over 52.
Yep.
Nice.
I like it. You usually do pretty well when you pick the highest over anyway.
Honestly, that's what I'm like. Why not? Why not? All right, who's up?
Max,
That would be me. I like Pitt, LA over 43.5. I think Pitt can put up some points. Maybe they got some shit together coming off the bye week. I know they beat the Ravens, so that was good old moral booster. LA can also put up some points, but I think we can easily see a very close game at like fucking 24-20, or maybe LA kind of just takes it away a little bit, gets it like a 30 to fucking 20. I don't know. But I think it will be a close game. I think they will put up some points. I know Steelers defense is solid, so maybe we get a nice little defensive tutty. Minka or something runs one back. Porter Jr. can run one back. So I think this will be a little higher scoring than most think.
okay. I can see that, Max. I can absolutely see that. Yeah, I think this is when they get out of the AFC North, or go out to sunny California, just kind of freeze everyone up a little bit. Offense scores, defense kind of goes, with palm trees, and that's a few in.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
I like that. I like that. I'm also going to stay out west. I got Arizona and Seattle over 44.5. It's just one, like, just close my eyes. I just see these teams just each scoring on each other. Like, if Arizona at least loses by scoring in the double digits, like, they're not, they're really good at helping an over, because they'll get at least 2 touchdowns and maybe a couple field goals, and then they'll make sure the other team gets 3 or 4 touchdowns and a couple field goals, and somewhere the math checks out on that. So give me Arizona and Seattle over 44.5.
I really like that. That was
Yeah.
Yep. I like that a lot. I don't know about y'all. I wrote down a ton of unders. And none of those unders were above 44 points. I think a lot of snooze fests this week. I am gonna go with one where I've been pretty much playing almost exclusively. I'd have to kind of go back, but I'm kind of playing a few teams a lot more than the others when it comes to the under. Sorry, too many. And so I'm going to keep that trend. Most of that trend has to do with the NFC South, and that's because they're terrible and the like to just take their time getting up the field. Arthur Smith loves just to get the ball within the white lines. He loves to keep that clock running. That dude, I swear, I don't see any of those players step out of bounds to stop the clock. They just keep that clock eating. I think both teams aren't really great on offense. So Atlanta, Tampa Bay under 37. Give me that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Give me your burger.
that could be just like the score last week in the Tampa Bay game. It was like 20-6 or something. I don't know which team will be the 20, which team will be the 6, but it just feels
Exactly.
right.
Yep. One
I
team
did
will
actually have Atlanta kind of written down as a dog. Just one of those. They were so bad last week, and if they would have got below average quarterback play, they would have beat the Commanders. And I think the Tampa is a little bit of frauds, but
Dude, you know what's crazy though is Atlanta. You would think like I feel like they're in like every game. I was looking at stat. I think they're like 1-5 against the spread this year, which is crazy. But they're in, yeah, they're 1-5 against the spread. Well, the thing is they're 1-5 against the spread, but their overall against the spread plus or minus is minus 4.3. So like they're all really close cover.
Well,
Like
it's a depending on when you got, I imagine the spread is used at like the 1 p.m. spread. Like if you play the Falcons every week and you normally place your bet on a Thursday or Friday, like they might be, 3-2 or something gets spread in your book.
Fair point. That's a fair point.
That's true.
I like that a lot. Shit. All right. Let's see. We got that. All right. Who's up next? Max under?
Yeah, I guess so. Ravens Lions. Sean, you mentioned that Detroit has top 5 defense. Ravens also probably have a top 5 defense. I mean, their linebacker with Patrick Queen and Roquan. Secondary is pretty decent as well. You got the solid front line. I think these fuckers are just going to run. They're just going to keep running the ball back and forth and getting stopped. Like when you got Aiden Hutchinson on the other side as well. Dude, I just don't see it going past. I think it's going to be like fucking 2017 game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
100%. That was number 2. So
I'll say 2018 for y'all because Ravens are gonna win.
Fair enough.
That's fine. We'll take the
That's
cover.
all right. That's all right. That's all right.
We'll take the cover.
Good stuff. All right. I mean, if none of you guys are going to take it, I'm going to take it. Give me under 37.5 in Las Vegas against the Bears. I mean, come on. This is going to be, this is like my version of the Iowa versus Minnesota game for you, Sam. That total is so high, like for a Connell. I know, the teams aren't that good, and that's like where shit can get crazy because like, a pick 6 now, there's points or turnover in your own zone and you're immediately a red zone opportunity. I will live with those chances just to be able to have my eyes glued for, the under in this game. So I don't think I need to give any more, talk around this. Just it's pretty understood.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yep. Yeah, we're hoping for.
I want Chicago to win by 30.
Sure.
40. But
30-0 for all I care.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that all day. So it is. I mean, fuck, dude. Vegas, I think, is almost always an under game. I think.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're essentially an under every. Them and the Saints are pretty much an under every time game.
Yeah.
Yep. So Vegas has hit the under in 83% of their games. They are 5-1 when it comes to the under.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then, of course, Chicago is their statistics are a little stunted. They are 5-1 on the over. So basically the opposite of Vegas. But what the stats don't know is that Tyson Badgent's playing and not Justin Fields. So I think I love that. I think that's a beautiful thing. And also I love, honestly, Sean, to your point, I was really torn. And what almost had me on the Las Vegas Chicago was that half point. Because I'm like, all right, there's no way this Bears Vegas game is more than 20-17. It's literally going to be 20-17. Couldn't tell you who's going to be the winner there.
Yeah.
Same thing with Atlanta, Tampa Bay. I just think that Arthur Smith might get a little too cute, go for 2, and then maybe they get 20-16. Right? Sure. Like, I don't know why he'd need to get 2
Nope.
points within instead, but I give him props on that. So yeah, I love our unders. Nothing under four or nothing over 43 is a beautiful thing to see. So also, is this just like a weather related thing, or is it just we just have matchups
No,
between
that was last week. I think it just there's no offense is down this year, man. Like all of it, scoring touchdowns are down.
but so defenses win championships, is what you're saying?
I think or just everyone's offense isn't it could be better.
Yeah. Still, it's everyone's getting a little tune up. I feel like we got a couple weeks and then we'll start getting back up there. NFC South does not help, but yeah, yep. All right. So where are we now? We are on props. So a lot of props to look at. I feel like I've been doing pretty similar stuff, but now that I'm looking at it, it's been a while since I've hit him back. So I'm gonna hit him back now. I'm gonna hit my guy Tyreek Hill over 96.5 receiving yards. It's minus 115.
This is
He
all like Devontae Adams 2 years ago.
It's exactly that. And that was, I mean, oh, that was the best gambling year of my life, man. Aaron Rodgers, 2+ touchdowns. Devontae Adams, over 85 receiving yards, over 6 receptions, and the Packers to cover like 6.5 every game. That was like plus 350 every single day. Every single time the Packers played, that was automatic. And maybe a Devontae Adams touchdown every other game. And it was just beautiful. It was, oh God, that's just get me all riled up on Thursday night.
Beautiful. Well,
I was gonna say I'll reiterate that Tyreek Hill over 96.5.
Got it. Love it. What about you, Max Rowe?
I like it's super low. I was thinking about Zay Flowers, and then I was like, well, I just fucking contradicted myself because I said they're gonna be running the shit. So I also wrote down Jahan Dotson over 34.5 receiving yards. 34.5? Come on.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, like
I just want
it's interesting. Like just being, in the mid of the arena or whatever in the around the DC area. Like it seems he's kind of disappeared a little bit. He's still a very good player. I don't know if it's just like a scheme thing or a him thing. So Max, I don't hate that at all because he's like there's going to be a breakout game at some point. It's just a matter of which one is it. So right, like it's like you've waited for the market to come all the way down, and you're like, all right, like this is low, let's buy. Like it might not be this week, but like it's worth a chance.
and Giants.
And
Yeah.
Giants. So
I mean,
so I my scheme, my reasoning was right last week. That would have been with the 2 or 3 times row rushing against the Giants, but I was afraid to take Cook just because like it was like 54 over under yards and like he hadn't got there since like week 1. He ran for 70. I took Josh Allen and they scored no points, so he didn't really run the ball much. I was thinking about doing the again rushing against the Giants, but I don't. Brian Robinson, he's kind of gives off Najee Harris vibes to me. I just don't see him having like an 80-yard day. And I mean, he's only really gets like 40 yards a game. I think because they're playing the Giants, it was set at like 60. Didn't love it. I'm gonna go, Max. You brought up a good point. I respect the Ravens defense, one of the best linebackers in football. They get after you up front. I think their Achilles heel is out on the wings of the secondary, specifically number 44, Marlon Humphrey. If you go, his whole thing is I press, I go against you. That's great. Sometimes it works and sometimes it gets beat like a drum. And this week we got Amon-Ra going against him. And if it's still just try to Marlon Humphrey try to cook, he's going to get cooked. Give me Amon-Ra over 69.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, I like that.
the only thing that I'll say about this, and this is just watching that fucking Titans game, is that Amon-Ra can't get yards for all the times that he doesn't get the ball, but they call a PI on Marlon Humphrey because he fucking holds. If you could count those,
if that ruins
the St. Brown, he would have 100 yards
Yeah.
this Sunday.
Like
It's so
if
frustrating.
he gets like 10 targets but only 5 catches because 3 were PI, I'm gonna,
Yeah. No, and you know they're gonna break. He's gonna break one out, and I really like that a lot. I mean, he's been like he hasn't been quiet, but like I feel
But
like
he
Sam.
hasn't had like the Amon Ra game of last year yet.
Yeah, exactly,
Just a matter
exactly.
of time.
And it's one of those times where like this is one of those games where, given the Ravens defense, it's almost like, I don't know if he's gonna do it, but I feel like this also could be the game. This is the kind of game where he is like, fuck y'all, like let me get
Yeah.
this one.
Like I understand, like I could look like an idiot and he had 23 yards. I could look great and he has 129. Like I feel
I
almost
think that's more
like an
likely.
equal chance about both of those.
No, I think the latter is more likely there. So I really like that. And Goff's been slinging the ball around. Like, I mean, you gotta factor in the QB. Goff's been
He
feeling
has
good.
time.
Yep.
How great would that for a quarterback to have time?
Dude, that
Wouldn't,
Lions
wouldn't know
offense.
anything about that.
I mean, geez, yeah, that Lions offensive line is. I mean, they're just built like they're just. If you could put Dan Campbell into a 50-man roster and put everyone that is like him and able to, like, I feel like it's just such a perfect match between Campbell and the way this team runs and like the toughness of each guy. Like Goff is just like he's just a perfect chip on the shoulder QB. It's like, hey, I know y'all don't think I'm a top 15, 25 QB. I know I got traded for Matt Stafford so that the Rams could win a Super Bowl, but hey, I'm young. I can sling the ball around. There's no reason, like he's got that like sneaky confidence about him, which I really like. Um, not afraid to throw the ball around. So I love that pick a whole fucking lot. Um, let's see. Any other props? Any honorable mention props? Because I know there's a lot of them. I got Watson for Green Bay over 50.5 receiving yards. Denver secondary stinks. Watson, number one receiver, back healthy. Not thinking about it. So I'll play that, but not my I mean, come on. We're talking about Tyreek to hit his over or Christian Watson. Who are we taking there?
Yeah.
Try not to think too much this weekend.
Yeah. No, I saw that.
All righty. Last but certainly not least, our touchdown parlay, which we have not hit yet. We are going to get one. I think we hit once last year, so we almost had it in week 3. We missed Bijan, which I'm pretty sure he almost had one. So that's fucked. Anyways, oh shit. Sorry, I'm trying to get the screen all fucked up. Looking at touchdowns, I got the Packers money line. I do want to have I guess a question from the crew. So I want to put Aaron Jones as my touchdown scorer. He's plus 111. Can I reserve the right
Yeah. Oh,
in
of
case
course.
he doesn't play?
Put like
Okay.
an auxiliary one in there.
Okay. Should I wait? How about this? How about this? I'll do Jones. I'm gonna do Aaron Jones. He's back. He scores 4 touchdowns a game sometimes to make up for his lack of touchdowns earlier in the season. He's gonna get a tut against Green Bay. So here's what I think we should do. I think you guys should pick your anytime tuds, and then I'll pick my auxiliary because I don't want to pick my auxiliary if it's gonna be one of y'all's. Or I could
Yeah.
make the auxiliary that, but like I want to try and do a parlay of that, and we can't do that. So I'll go with Jones plus 111, and then I will follow up with my auxiliary once you guys go. So Max.
Um, no, I was just thinking. Yeah. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go K9. It's minus 185, but I think we settled that last week that I mean it's a parlay, so might as well.
Yeah.
So give me K9.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, man. He's good. He had a touchdown last week too. They always seem to get right at the goal line. That goes well with my over in that game too, Max.
Exactly.
We're on a good wavelength here.
Yes, sir.
You have to give me your take in Rangers Astros tonight.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll shoot it in the group chat.
Hate to do this, but sometimes it's like you just, Sam, like your team well. I'm not going to give you a Steelers touchdown because that's just picking names out of a hat, like any luck. But Cooper Cup will get another touchdown this week. That seems pretty certain. It's actually only plus 110, which seems pretty interesting to me. They'll get at least a few touchdowns that game, and if they're going to get one, especially with their top 2 running backs out, feel pretty confident it'll be Cooper Cup. I feel like he's probably actually going to get like a 30-yard touchdown, to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, plus 110 too. I love that.
Yeah, that's gonna give a little bit of a boosty boost in the old parlay there.
I love it. So I said 111. I was looking at Caesars earlier. I wrote it down. But DraftKings got it pulled up by this time. So Aaron Jones,
You're a
105.
man of pride.
Yes, exactly.
Integrity.
I'll take that. It's like when teachers come in and they say you got 100 and you realize you missed a question and they didn't grade it, and you go back to them and you tell them that they got it wrong and then they still give you the 100. That's what we're going for here. So Aaron Jones plus 105, Kenneth Walker minus 185, Cooper Kupp plus 110. That parlay is plus 563. That feels right. So I really like that. I will reserve my auxiliary for a game. Then I pick the over. If it's going to be auxiliary, might as well just think it through. It's going to be my over game. We're going to go with Mostert at plus 102. I will just put it next to it just so we don't count it. But Mostert plus 102 in case. So I like that. Plus 563. I think that's a beautiful touchdown parlay there. Yeah.
I like it. It just looks good.
It does look good. All right. Anything else? Any other any non-football, any football that we haven't talked about? Anything we want to hit on before we go watch this beautiful Thursday slate of sports?
You know what? Let me give Mike Opler just an apology for locking up Louisville last week.
I was with you.
Just that's on me. I should that's Narduzzi. That's right up his alley. He's due for one just raw game, and so I apologize about that. That's won't happen again.
John, if you didn't pick it, I was going to, so I would be making the apology if you didn't pick it before me. So thanks for falling on the sword. Yeah, we gotta bounce back on that. I mean, we went 3-5-1 last week.
In our long slate of plays. I know we're just doing the 3 here. Like we did, we won the Washington game. We had a couple other good ones. I hit the over Notre Dame. Hit Rutgers.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. You listen to the 3 picks that we each have, but you also got to listen to the conversations because we're also throwing out picks that are not maybe our top 3, but there's picks in there. So
it's about time I start hitting my fucking top 3.
Gotta search through.
Hey, you guys are rolling on the NFL. Just trying to be like y'all, man. I'm trying to be like y'all. So, all right. Well, hey, good luck to the Steelers. Good luck to the Bears. Good luck to the Pack. Good luck to the Hokies. Mountaineers. Irish get a nice break, so take that. I will probably play the Pitt Panthers +1 over Wake Forest just for shits and gigs. Beautiful, just like, hey, it's a coin flip. It's even money. Why not? I mean, it's a good profit. I don't hate that. Maybe Pitt's riding high. If I lose, then I stop betting Pitt for the rest of the season. But, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Well, good luck to the Snakes here. It's we at top 9 now. So that'll be fun to see how this finishes up as well.
Yes, I love it. All right,
fellas. I'll be putting out some UFC tomorrow. Get that shit out of there. It's huge. 294. Going to be a great card. Not going to do any spoilers, but I come from a land down under.
Yes, good. That's honestly, that's all I needed to hear. And you already know. That's my guy. That's my fucking guy. Let's go. Let's get it.
Let's get it done, baby.
Yes. Let's go, fellas. Let's get some winners. Let's have ourselves a good weekend. And everyone listening, let's do the same as well. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, y'all.